How's it going, everybody? Today we're going to talk about some VOD review. And if you want to submit a VOD review, all you have to do is be a part. Just sub to the channel. I don't know why I said start with a part, but yeah, you got to be a part of my community. You got to sub to the channel and just hit up my Twitter. The link for the instructions is down below. For the link for the tweet. So yeah, hit me up on Twitter. Send a DM. The instructions are down below. But today we're going to talk about some Leo vs Soul. So I have the notes here of what our first student has sent us. So he is looking for a review, especially against Soul neutral against Leo, and how to deal with Soul offense, both in back turn and normal stance, and what defensive options are the best to use against him. So that's what we'll talk about today. Let's get into it.
Duel 1.
So first, let's talk about Leo a little bit. So Leo's really strong. He has 50-50 mix. And his neutral's okay. His neutral's pretty decent against Soul. He has some decent stuff. You gotta look out for Fireball mostly. DP, of course, is a crazy button in defense. Or a crazy move in defense against Soul. But let's talk about like specifically what do you have to look for. You have to look for Far Slash, you have to look for 5H. Have to look for Dwight, which is the Berserker Slash. They have to look for Erst. Oh, not really Erst that much. Erst is the forward one, the forward slash move. Gotta look for Fireball. Some basic stuff. So I've also just did notes against Leo recently, so I'm fresh in my mind to like stuff you want to deal with. But let's see what our boy here is dealing with. Like what are his issues currently?
Let's rock.
So right here, right, we can go back from the start. So with Fireball, or with Leo in general, you kind of want to be a little bit out of his Far Slash range. If you're out of his Far Slash range, there isn't that much he can do in terms of neutral. He can do Fireball, stuff like that, but you also can, you know, IED over them. So he has to be wary of that. For most of the match, you know, as long as you're kind of posing a threat on that. So he has to be careful throwing Fireball, and he out of Far Slash range, so it makes it really good for you in general. Like this range with 6S, is kind of like the sweet spot, right? Like right here is good. He can't really reach with Far Slash. If he throws a Fireball, you can IED him. Maybe not on reaction, but you can kind of threaten that situation a couple times during the match. So he'd be a little bit more scared to throw Fireball. Good 5K. Nice air throw. Bites on the Gunflame. Could have done a better ender here, but overall the round's not bad for you. Bites him. No conversion. Spend the bar. Oh, doesn't get the kill. Get the kill. Gets the kill. Alright, it was a pretty. There was some sloppy stuff execution, but overall the neutral is pretty solid. You kind of got in on him relatively quick, so it's not a bad first round. Yes, some good anti-airs. Nice. Tries to. So also I'll tell you right here. In this situation, you can OS this. Oh, did I get too far? Okay. Like right here, right? There's an OS you can use. So if you input, when you do 6S, if you do 214P, which is Gunflame Fade, and then 236P, which is the Fireball, if you input those really quick, like both of them together, so it's like 6S, 214P, 236P. If you get counter hit, the Fireball will come out. If you don't get counter hit, or if they block, the Feint will come out. So that's like a little OS you can do, so you can auto confirm into the Fireball out of a 6H counter hit, or a 6S, excuse me. Nice with the commander. Meaty drift. Your Earthles are pretty solid, actually. Ooh, that run up was crazy. Surprisingly bursty there. All right. Nice back dash. Nice back dash. Yeah, this goes for not just Leo, but in general, right? You have such a huge life lead here. it's not bad to go for risks like DP or like backdash or even like 5k wake up here is not bad. You have such a huge lead, and you have burst, so it's not too bad to take risks, especially like this. He gets a hit. It's like it's like whatever, right? You can just fucking pick a defensive option and you'll be fine because you have burst, so it's not a big deal. So especially with these big life leads on Leo, it's good to be unpredictable with your defensive option because it makes it really annoying for the Leo player, especially if they're down. They try to pick something like, what the fuck are you gonna 5k me? Are you gonna DP me? What are you gonna do? And then they start second guessing themselves. So it's a good option to start mixing stuff up. And you get the kill. First game was relatively clean, some execution errors, but like overall, you were pretty much in control the whole match, I think. Let's see game 2.
Duel 1. Let's rock. This'll hurt.
Just wobble. Alright, here's where stuff gets scary, right? Okay, so right here, the dreaded 2D DP, right? So the thing here is, it's -5, right? Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it's -5. Before I start fucking lying to you. I have the matchup. I have the matchup notes here. It's it's -5. So what do you have against it, right? You have 2P. Your 2P is 5 frames, and then your 5P is 4 frames, right? With Soul. So if he's close enough, you could punish. But usually they don't do it too close. So usually what I would suggest is to do run up, delay 2P. Or like if they're really close, you don't get the punish, run up, delay 5k. Or even like far slash maybe. Because pressing a button right out of it, like you have to take that 50-50 where they're gonna do the reversal or not. But if you do that, if you do the delay, run up 5p, whatever, you'll either get your turn back slightly or you'll block, right? Because like if you do it too late, you know, as long as you hold back, right? So of course when you do the 5p run up 5p, make sure you're holding back. If you or 2p, make sure you're holding back, because like if they do too late, then you'll block the DP. It makes it a little more scary because he is -5, he's not plus, right? So you kind of can run up on him. You have to just worry about the DP, but that's like a one solution I do is kind of run up, delay, press a button. So if they do DP, I'll block most of the time. You know, sometimes they delay it too much, and you might get hit, but it's another thing you could do for it. You don't have to deal with that situation of 2D guessing, or it's a little bit more in your favor. Nice throw. Not unfortunate. Unfortunate revolver, you don't get the kill, but you have a big lead. You're chilling. Here comes the fireball. Nice avoid. Nice avoid from the fireball. Also, one thing here, by the way. I know he has bars, so you couldn't do it here. But just make sure every time they do H fireball, always vortex punish. You must vortex punish. Never let them get away with a raw H fireball. This is why you want to stay in range between like right out of their far slash range. So like if you do H fireball, they have no bar, instant vortex. Like you are fucking punishing him every single time for it. He had bar there, so you couldn't do it there, but just in general, just keep an eye out for that.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Nice DP. So I'll point out this situation here too. So right here with the 5k, he is, I actually can't remember. I think he's like -2, right? -1, excuse me. He's -1, and then the 6k is -4. You did a good option here, which is like DP, like right here, I think, earlier. A little bit later. Like right here. So this situation too, right? So when he does the situation, 5k into 6k, you can't press the button, right? But you can DP. There is a gap if they leaves you a gap. This far slash 5H, there is a gap every time. So there's a couple scenarios you can do here, right? One scenario is if he does Far Slash or 5H, he does nothing. 6H punishes it every time. They're too negative. But most of the time they don't do it by itself. So they usually do Far Slash into 5H. There is a gap always in between these. And because he's this far, you can DP him and stay relatively safe. He could bait it and punish you. But you can do SDP in between them and it'll hit him every time. Right? He'll hit him every single time. If he does 5H into 6H, you can DP it. If he does 5H into Life Fireball, into S Fireball, it's like, whatever, you got hit by S Fireball, it's not a big deal, all right? So doing DP against this is really good. It keeps him super fucking honest. Like, you don't want to do it all the time, but just the fact that you do it once or twice, so like, I literally cannot use Far Slash 5H without worrying about DP. That shit is the mental guard break against Leo players. It's really good. And then also you mix it in, right? So you just block, and if he does 6H, you could Far Slash it. If he does white, you could Far Slash or 5K it. If he does Erst, you can punish on block. If he's close enough, if you're not close enough, you IB, you can punish it on block too. If you have the IB ready. So mixing in that DP and then doing nothing and just letting the Leo player be scared or try to do other options is huge. It takes away his one of his biggest tools, which is the constant 5H, Far Slash 5H, Far Slash 5H. It gets to get him in. That shit is like such a mental guard break on Leo players. But overall, the neutral is pretty good. You're using, I like the use of right here, right? Gunflame Feint. Or excuse me, the Gunflame into Dash is really good. It kind of create your space. The Leo player isn't really using fireballs too much. Other Leo players definitely use fireball a little bit better to control the space. But it's okay. It's not a big deal. He gives it to you, you know? Because like this makes it really hard for Leo if he doesn't use fireball against Soul. Because he loses so much space because Soul's just faster than him. And his buttons, like he can match buttons with Leo. Yeah, that's the unfortunate part about doing success. Doing success, the Leo can always DP, can always risk doing DP, which is why you kind of want to, after the 5K, want to throw in some 2Ds just to kind of keep him honest, so he doesn't just DP you all day. A lot of Soul players don't use 5K 2D, and it's a damn shame because it's a good tool. And I feel like once the game gets more developed, people will start using it because 5K success on block against some characters is really bad. You can't do shit out of it. They just fucking punish you for it every time. So, yeah, be sure to mix in some 5K 2D in there as well. Not just always use success. Oh boy. Alright, here's a stance. We got on stance. Oh, DP. You guessed the DP. You guessed the back dash. Like right here, right? That's a DP right there. Easy DP. DP right there. You get out of the situation. You don't have to take the throw. You burst, he gives it to you, surprisingly. You win this match, though. Oh. He really lets you do that. That's crazy. He really lets you do that. So I guess this game we could talk about backstance a little bit. So the general rule of backstance is like it's a 50-50. So like you kind of have to make the decision, but the thing you don't want to happen, you should practice, is like if you decide to block low, you want to be able to react to the overhead. You want to be able to react to the overhead. You should practice that too. Like if you block low, being able to block the high creates a way better scenario for you because you only have to guess off of the initial hit, right? You only have to guess if he goes low or high, right? That's a 50-50. You can't deal with that, right? Unless you DP, of course. But let's say you block it, right? If you block it, FD is your best friend because, you know, his movement is very limited in backstance. So like he doesn't have many options to kind of re-reach you. So like FDing is a huge part about defending Leo against this situation. And once you get out, right, probably throw a Gunflame because he can't jump, right? So he can't really ID you. Worst thing you can do is like read it and then do S Fireball, which is not a big deal if you get hit. So once you escape, and he's still in back stance, I would suggest you doing the fireball to try to regain the space. Running at him is not a good idea. He's like, his buttons are really fast and he has a counter, so you're better off like trying to force him out of back stance by using fireball and using some footsies like a success, because a success will get triggered by the counter, but like you don't get hit by the counter. It just reflects you, so it's not a bad idea to use success or fireball to regain the space if you do get out of the situation. Nice jump. Nice wall throw. Get him out of the corner on that. I should do that more often too. Actually, I actually should do a wall throw in that situation, because it's like, you know, it's free damage, and I have meaty because it's in the corner. So. Yeah, the Leo doesn't use Fireball too much, so like I would keep in mind Leos that don't use Fireball definitely regain the space using Fireball. Because if they're not gonna do Gunflame on you, then like, they're not gonna challenge the Gunflame, then fuck it, it's all you. Nice backdash. Ooh, bad combo though, bad combo. So when you have a combo like this, if you know for 100% fact you're gonna get close slash, counter hit, like you punish the DP, you know you're gonna counter hit close slash. The combo I do is I do close slash, hit the dash button for the run up, close slash again, heavy DP. It does like 170. It's fatty damage. And then if you have bar, you can do the HD DP RC combo. So it's like jump H, land, 5k, right? If I get a counter hit close slash, I know for a fact that counter slash, I do the run up, close slash, run up, close slash, HDP. Like right here, you knew for a fact, right? You backdashed it, close slash, have that close slash combo already, so you get that crazy damage, because you should have killed him easily here. Instead, you get DP because it's Leo. He fucks up the combo. Then you use DP anyway. So you get out of here.
Duel 2. Let's rock. Yes, I'm here.
Those whites? Doubles whites? Yeah, I can see you kind of, you're a little scared in neutral, I can tell. Don't be scared, you know. If he puts you in block, front stance is not a big deal, you know. You be sure to use 5k, be sure to use 5p. One thing I've been doing a lot is like 5p, 2p, 6h. Like 5p, 2p for my hit confirm, and then if I get the hit, do 6h. Because 5p is 4 frames, man. It's not 5k. It's not 3-frame button, but 4k's 4-frame button is pretty damn good, and you can hit confirm it, and it has less recovery. So be sure to use your 2p and your 5p. It's your best friend, especially in defense. Don't always rely on backdash and DP, right? Because be sure to use FD and stuff. Like blocking Leo isn't the scariest thing in the world. You know, he puts you in mix, but it's guilty here. There's gonna be DLC characters that are gonna put you in way more fucked up mix, I'm sure, when DLC comes out. So, yeah, don't be afraid to block. Don't be afraid to block, and don't be afraid to get hit. It be like that sometimes. Don't play like you. Don't always play like, goddamn, if I have to get put in blocks, then I'm fucked, right? Like, this Leo isn't very great, but there's gonna be Leos that are gonna be baiting you and gonna make you pay for not blocking. So, don't be afraid to block. Sometimes it's not your turn, you know? But this Leo is letting you have his way. Yeah, I can tell you're both playing scared in neutral for sure. Both of you do not want to get put in blocks then. You get clipped for it, unfortunately. Yeah, I think the main thing in neutral is like you just gotta chill a little more. You wanna have the answers ready in neutral and in defense. It'll make the neutral game a lot more easier for me, because you're like, I block, whatever. I might get mixed, but like I know what things to answer to what, right? I know I gotta use, if he starts doing the 5Ks on me, if he starts running up on me, you gotta use that 5P, that 5K. If he doing that fucking when I got that DP ready. If he does nothing, I got that 6H ready. If he does 6H to me, I got that 5K ready. If he does Y, I got that throw ready. Like, if you have the answers ready against him, like, fuck, you don't got anything to be scared about. You don't even need backdash. You don't even need DP something. You just fucking you have the answers. Like, the answers is ready. You have every button for every scenario, right?
Let's rock.
But that's just the matchup knowledge, right? You get better as playing, but like also hitting the lab, especially someone like Leo who isn't that hard to learn. You can kind of mimic some of the options he does. It's pretty easy to mimic. I went to lab, build some notes. He's not a very hard character to figure out. So yeah, definitely hit the lab. It's not just for you, but for everybody watching this. Hit the lab. Try to find some answers to certain moves, right? Don't just try to like rely on your neutral and pretending like if you hit the block once, it's fucked. You know. Try to throw. Yeah, right here, like that was good. That was good patience, right? You pretty much got out. He fucked up the combo. You blocked the overhead, so. And you one thing you could have done here, like one small tidbit. Let me see actually. Like one little smidge right here. Because he's so far away, you actually do not have to block low here. Because his 5K, his stance K does not reach. So when Leo is super duper far, this is like some master level matchup knowledge, right? If he's this far, don't even bother blocking low. Like if he dashes in on you, then block low. But right here, you could fucking this 5K will not reach. I promise you, the stance K won't reach. You could block high here forever. You didn't even have to react to it. That's your back dash. So that's a bad gun frame though. You don't have bar, so you definitely don't want to be using it that close. He DPs you, but you get off the foot. He's widening. He's doing gorilla stuff. You're both doing gorilla stuff. You're both doing gorilla stuff. Nice gold burst. Spin the ball for the combo. I don't know about the twisted combo, but uh-oh. You're dead? Oh, unfortunately. Yeah, you can really. It's just like that last round especially. It's just a matter of like both of you are fucking terrified and you don't know what to do against each other as characters, right? Because you guys are flailing. You guys are just kind of like, fuck it. I need to get out of here. I need to get out of the corner. I need to get out of the blocks done. So yeah. That's kind of the moral of the story. Like have answers for certain situations. It makes you play a lot more calm, a lot more patient. Be like, I don't give a fuck what he does. I'm ready for what button he presses next. You know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Overall, the neutral game's not bad. It's just I feel like your defense is definitely lacking, right? But definitely use these tips I gave you. FD on the stance. Sometimes you're gonna get hit. It's a 50-50. It is what it is. It's Guilty Gear. That's why bursts are in the game. You know. But yeah, neutral's not bad. I think defense is a little bit more work than neutral, but yeah, not bad. Not a bad start. Not a bad start at all.